Hi, I'm Chris McMahon. I'm reading through Chapter 1 of my science fiction novel, The TCD Diversion, page 9. Carrick checked the logs and found that activity in the biodome had increased dramatically over the past few months as the dome's AI struggled to replace those plants killed by radiation and keep the system running. Seed stock was low, and 3 gardener robots had taken themselves offline in the past year. Carrick shut down the console. There was nothing more he could do. He had to get down to the axis of the ship and help Ryle. Carrick looked up whimsically at the darkened screens across the back wall. He would take just a moment, a brief pause, to take a breath after all the tension of the last hours. Shipcom, activate biodome screens. One by one, the big screens that lined the rear wall flared to life. Exterior feed. The shipcom fed them data from the sensors on the ship's hull until a continuous starscape spread across the walls. Tens of thousands of stars crowded around him. Carrick stood for a long moment alone with space, allowing a sense of serenity to settle on him. From the earliest age he had been drawn to the images of distant nebula, galaxies that swirled with living suns, yet so far from Earth. The desire to reach those distant places had shaped his life, driven him first into fusion space drive research, and then on to lead the team that made the crucial breakthrough in suspension technology, human suspended animation, reliable long-term stasis. Something shimmered at the edge of his vision. For a moment he wondered whether the biodome glow panels had been damaged here as well. 2 points of light in the vast starscape above him grew brighter, swelling into the shape of huge eyes. In rapid motion, thousands of snaking lines appeared in space, glowing lines connecting him and the ship with those luminous eyes. Each of those lines grew taut, stretched and snapped, the vivid colours dissolving into a dark mass of smoke, covering everything except the eyes. They swelled until they were titanic suns of hate, drawing a dark orb into orbit with them, a darkness within a swirling cloud that sang in tones of deadly colour. Matter was drawn into that dark core, flashing with a violence as it disappeared. The savage energies raced outward like a blinding arrow, straight to the living heart of Starburst. Carrick, what's going on? Jansen. Carrick snapped back to the present. A sweat of fear had broken out on his forehead. His eyes flicked to his wrist. 46 minutes. He gasped as an intense wave of nausea hit him. He looked back up at the stars. Everything was normal. Carrick, what is the emergency? It was Jansen's voice, small and thin as it issued from the tiny speaker on his comm band. Jansen and Andrei had emerged from suspension.